I was the trophy husband Anna Miller, the darling of New York's elite, had fought tooth and nail to win. I was also the man everyone looked down on. Just 3 years into our marriage, Anna was already keeping a young college student on the side, captivated by his toned, energetic physique. On our anniversary, she called. "I'm going to my best friend Chloe's concert tonight. Afterwards, the girls and I are having a spa party, so I won't be home." The college kid's voice, a low and deliberate taunt, carried through the receiver, dripping with unrestrained arrogance. A college dropout trophy husband. You think he'd understand Chloe's music? After she hung up, Chloe, who was right beside me, wrapped her arms around me. "Noah, choose me. I would never betray you." Ethan, the arrogant and vibrant NYU student, had Anna utterly mesmerized in just a few short months, to the point where she didn't even try to hide it. She brought him to all her business functions. The first time I saw them together was at a Miller Group investor conference. I was in the middle of smoothing things over with the guests. "Thank you all for your long-term support of Anna. Without you, she wouldn't be the titan she is in the company. She's always appreciated your partnership, and this conference is especially important to her." But before I could finish my carefully crafted speech, Anna walked in, arm in arm with Ethan. The flush on her cheeks hinted at a recent intimacy, and her vibrant dress, perfect for a date night, was completely out of place in the corporate setting. It showed a blatant disregard for the partners of the Miller Group. "Anna, babe, so this is your company's big event? The catering is insane, all you can eat. So cool." Ethan glanced at me as if I were invisible, his hand kneading Anna's smooth, fair arm. It was the first time I had ever seen such manipulative, two-faced behavior embodied so perfectly in a man. Anna let him get away with it, allowing his brazen antics to disrupt the entire event. I looked at the many clients who had partnerships with the Miller Group, but instead of blaming her, the guests turned their judgment on me, the husband who had never been respected by the Miller family. Noah was just putting on airs with me a minute ago, and the next second, his wife walks in and completely humiliates him. Exactly. Acting like he's the boss when he's nothing. How embarrassing. A man with absolutely no dignity. If that were me, I'd want the ground to swallow me whole. I stood silently in the center of the room, the brilliant light from the crystal chandelier reflecting off my custom-tailored suit. I kept a placid smile on my face, pretending not to care. I held it together until Ethan, parading around like he was inspecting the troops, had thoroughly wrecked the atmosphere of the conference. When he had caused enough trouble, Anna decided it was time to leave, brushing it all off with a few light words. "Everyone, I'm so sorry. My little brother here is young and a bit wild. I apologize for the poor hospitality tonight. I'll be sure to make it up to you all next time." The New York princess had spoken, and no one dared to object. They showered her with compliments, their understanding and sincerity a stark contrast to the way they treated me. I finally lost my patience. I stepped in front of Anna, keeping my voice as low as possible to maintain some semblance of order. "Anna, are you really leaving on such an important day? When your father finds out tomorrow, how am I supposed to clean this up? You promised you'd at least leave me my dignity." Before I could finish, Anna pressed a finger to my lips. The seductive look in her eyes was the same as it had always been, her every move exuding a captivating grace, but it was no longer for me. She patted Ethan reassuringly, then turned her cold gaze on me. "Noah, you're nothing but a dog the Millers took in. You eat my food, you live in my house. What right does a kept man have to talk to me about dignity?" I froze, staring at the woman before me in disbelief. The fortress I had built with love to withstand all the criticism and insults crumbled in an instant. A man from an ordinary background who married into the Miller family, I was despised by everyone from the very beginning. The sound of ridicule echoed around me. No one thought Anna was out of line. They only mocked me for not knowing my place. Anna raised an eyebrow, her long, elegant fingers moving from her lips to her phone. A moment later, my phone vibrated. A transfer notification. "Take the money and keep your mouth shut. Stop meddling in my affairs and ruining my mood." I don't really remember how that night ended. I vaguely recall the guests flocking around Anna, openly escorting her and Ethan out. Someone laughed and commented, "That kid looks full of energy, but he's got stamina." Anna giggled, pulling up Ethan's shirt to run her hand over his well-defined abs. "Of course. You think I want to stare at a skinny weakling all day and lose my appetite?" Amid the roar of laughter, I looked down at the $100,000 transfer on my phone. I swiped out of the notification and found the cute bubble avatar in my message. The last message was from 2 days ago. I hadn't replied. It just sat there on the screen, looking pitiful, as if accusing me of my coldness. "Noah, I finally found you. You're the most talented composer out there. Are you really going to give up so easily? They don't understand you. You were meant to be the brightest star in the sky." I smiled, my thumb unconsciously caressing the screen. After a long pause, I replied, "Let's meet at the professor's recording studio when you have a moment." The reply was almost instantaneous, as if she had been waiting by her phone. "Okay, see you there." I put my phone away, drove home, and pulled out the most expensive bottle of red wine from the cabinet, downing it in one go. The ache that had been swelling in my chest finally fell to release. The aroma of the wine filled the air, and a sudden impulse took hold of me. I took a cab to the address Anna had posted on her Facebook. As soon as I walked in, I saw her standing outside a boxing ring, a bottle of Perrier in hand, leaning against the ropes and smiling as she took pictures of Ethan, who had just finished a round. His friends were all around. One of them saw me and gave a nonchalant greeting, then called out to Anna in a teasing tone, "Anna, your walking $100,000 just showed up. It must be nice to be rich. A dutiful man at home, and a boy toy on the side." Anna glanced over, her eyebrows raised. Noticing my flushed cheeks from the alcohol, she laughed. "Noah, don't tell me you went home and drank for courage before coming to find me. What is it this time? Are you going to lecture me about not giving you respect, or complain that your allowance is too small?" I thought her casual mockery would enrage me, but it didn't. I simply pulled a key card from my pocket and placed it calmly on the counter next to her. Anna glanced down at it. "Oh, what's this? Running away from home? Throwing a tantrum?" From the ring, Ethan, wiping sweat from his face, chimed in playfully, "Anna, babe, is he still mad at me? I know I'm young and don't know any better, but even I know a man is supposed to spoil his woman." I ignored Ethan and looked at Anna impassively. "I have to go out of town for something. I saw you didn't have your key card, so I brought it over. But I guess you probably don't need to go home much anyway. If there's nothing else, I'll be going." As I turned to leave, Anna's cool voice came from behind me. "Noah, don't push it. Be careful you don't burn your bridges and come crawling back to me like a dog." In the time that followed, Anna became even more brazen, taking Ethan to public events and letting the media create a narrative around the three of us. The photos of them embracing looked just like a couple in the throes of passion. I vaguely remembered a time when we were like that, inseparable, as if we couldn't bear to be apart for a single moment. The day the renowned musician Chloe held her concert at Carnegie Hall, Anna, her supposed best friend, showed up with Ethan. She was like a proud peacock, clinging to his arm without a care for the onlookers, letting the media snap away. Ethan's excitement was palpable. To see a Chloe concert live is every music student's dream. "Thank you, Anna." Anna pinched his cheek, feigning jealousy. "Expressing your admiration for another woman right in front of me. Aren't you afraid I'll get mad?" Ethan wrapped his arms around her slender waist and leaned in to kiss her. "You have no idea how hard it is to get tickets to her show. She's like the Taylor Swift of the classical world. I just love her music, that's all. No one could ever compare to you in my heart." I watched all of this unfold from the control room on the second floor, a wave of disgust I'd never felt before washing over me. My phone rang. It was Anna, her voice impatient. "You're back? You don't have to tell me. I'm at Chloe's concert tonight. I won't be home." I chuckled and asked, feigning innocence, "I like concerts too. Want me to join you?" On the other end of the line, Ethan's voice, arrogant and shameless, cut in. "Dude, you didn't even finish college. You want to come to Chloe's concert? Don't be a hick trying to force your way into the city. You'll just embarrass yourself." With that, he snatched the phone from Anna's hand and nibbled playfully on her earlobe. "Come on, babe. The concert's about to start." Watching them leave together on the monitor, I let out a silent laugh. Chloe moved in front of me, blocking my view. Tonight's concert is all music you wrote. It's a private symphony for the two of us. I lower my gaze, staring at the woman before me. Her enchanting eyes were mesmerizingly bright. So, Chloe slowly rose on her toes, her red lips parting to release a warm breath. So, if the concert is a huge success, you'll leave Anna and choose me. I will never betray you. I smiled, a slight tremor in my palm. I heard my own voice, distant and ethereal. All right. At the end of the concert, during the curtain call, Anna was so moved she pulled Ethan into a tight embrace, loudly declaring her love for him, her passion infecting everyone in the audience. I slipped away from the crowd and got into a black SUV in the underground garage. Chloe wrapped her arms around my neck, her light, fragrant scent easily clouding my thoughts. Noah, you came. You're finally ready to acknowledge my feelings, right? I didn't say anything, just gently stroked her hair. For a moment, I hesitated, but the woman in my arms was too persistent, clinging to me like a vine, as if any hint of retreat from me would cause her to self-destruct, taking me with her. Just then, Chloe's phone rang, shattering the intimacy of the moment. She looked at the screen. The name Anna flashed insistently. She dangled the phone in front of me with a wicked grin, then answered on speaker. Chloe, I came to your concert. My college boy is a huge fan of yours and wants a picture with you. Then came Ethan's voice, trembling with excitement. Miss Chloe, hello. I'm a student in the music performance department at NYU. I'm your biggest fan. I love all of your work. There was a moment of silence. Ethan's enthusiasm was met with nothing. Then, Chloe let out a sharp laugh, her voice slow and careless. A pathetic little homewrecker, not even worthy of being called mistress. Just a plaything. What makes you think I'd take a picture with you? I could hear Ethan's sharp intake of breath, a clear sign of his shock. Miss Chloe, what do you mean by that? Chloe, with uncharacteristic patience, continued, a triumphant smirk directed at me. Is my meaning not clear? You must have bought your way into college. You can't even understand plain English. Ethan, spoiled by Anna, naturally assumed everyone in their social circle would at least show him some respect for Anna's sake. I couldn't help but smirk. I didn't need to see it to know the look on his face must be priceless. All right, Chloe, don't be upset. It was my fault. I forgot you don't like meeting new people. Anna's voice cut in, completely unconcerned with the humiliation Ethan had just suffered. Anna, how could she insult me like that? And after I admired her so much, Ethan whined, refusing to let it go. He thought Anna's affection gave him a free pass, but Chloe, while Anna's friend, came from a family so powerful that even the Millers couldn't compare. There was no way Anna would risk her friendship with Chloe for some boy toy. Chloe finally lost her patience, cutting off the petulant voice on the other end of the line. Anna, you really have no standards. You'll stoop for any man. If he's got issues, get him help. Don't bring every pretty boy you find in front of me. I have to go. The world was finally quiet. I pulled Chloe into my arms, gently stroking her back. Okay, don't be angry. It's not worth it. Chloe was stunned. My sudden affectionate gesture left her speechless for a moment. A pink blush crept up her fair cheeks, all traces of her earlier domineering attitude gone. Noah, you were cheated on by people like that. You deserve so much better, she stammered, her words laced with indignation. I left to hear adorable earnestness. Now I'm just like them, a person unfaithful to their marriage. I don't have any right to feel wronged. Chloe shook her head. You're different. You're the best person in the world, Noah. It was Anna who betrayed your devotion. She doesn't deserve you. The car started. I turned off my phone. As we drove past the Miller mansion, it was dark, like a cage trapping a soul in shadows. Just 3 years, and Anna and I had reached this point of no return. Chloe's fingers idly traced my Adam's apple. Noah, she asked softly, when are you planning to make your official comeback? The man who had been sitting silently in the passenger's seat, almost invisible until now, turned to look at me. Sir, everything you asked for is ready. Your father has finally come around. He said if you want to pursue music, you should go for it. He won't stand in your way anymore. I leaned back against the leather seat of the SUV and nodded quietly. Understand. Have a lawyer's draft a divorce agreement. The man nodded respectfully. My lips then found the cool forehead of the woman in my arms. Chloe, just wait a few more days. It'll be over soon. The next morning, I went straight to the Miller Group headquarters. The moment I walked in, Anna shot up from her executive chair and rushed towards me, slamming a file into my chest. The metal corner of the binder hit my forehead, a sharp pain radiating from the point of impact. I touched it. It stung, but thankfully it wasn't bleeding. Anna grabbed the front of my shirt and shook me violently, making me dizzy. What is the meaning of this, Noah? I received a divorce agreement you sent to the office this morning. Are you insane? You dare to ask me for a divorce? I was no longer the pushover who would let Anna walk all over me. With a slight push, I sent her stumbling back several steps. Anna stared at me, her face a mask of disbelief. You pushed me? You actually dared to push me? Noah, you were never like this before. My expression remained unchanged. Don't talk about the past, Anna. It will only embarrass both of us. Since you like that college kid so much, I'll step aside for him. Anna stared at me coldly for a long time. Then she laughed. You're jealous? Jealous of him? I shook my head. But Anna didn't seem to believe me. Or perhaps she simply didn't care what my reasons were. She walked up to me and began to pat my cheek, the rhythm steady and forceful. Noah, take a good look at yourself in the mirror. You're just a trophy husband to the Miller family. You're supposed to work for us like an animal for the rest of your life. Don't take my kindness for granted. She pulled her hand back, a smirk playing on her lips. If you really piss me off, you could get on your knees and beg, and I wouldn't even look at you. She gave me a hard shove. Now you can get out. Go find a corner and think about what you've done. I walked out of the Miller Tower and stood for a moment in the sun-drenched plaza. On the giant screen across the square, an interview with the musician Chloe was playing. The woman's smile was radiant, her gentle eyes captivating, a stark contrast to her usual sharp demeanor. You can all stop guessing. I'm in love with someone. He's the composer of all my performance pieces. He was forced to leave the music scene because of some people and things that weren't worth his time, but his talent and skill remain unmatched. My heart skipped a beat. I knew what the consequences of Chloe's announcement would be, but there was nothing I could do to stop it. That afternoon, the news exploded. Chloe's secret romance shot to the top of the trending charts on Twitter. But the bigger mystery was the identity of the mysterious composer who always went by the pseudonym Xiao Yan. Many pointed out that Chloe and Anna were friends, and Anna's new boyfriend happened to be a music student at NYU. Could there be a connection between the mysterious composer and the college student? The internet was buzzing. People flooded Ethan's Twitter, asking if he knew anything. Ethan didn't deny it, instead offering vague, coy responses that let people's imaginations run wild, leading them to believe he was directly involved. I rolled my eyes and closed the app board. My father called while I was organizing the manuscripts I had accumulated over the years. I saw the news. I was against your marriage to that Miller girl from the start, but you were determined, even pretending to be an orphan, to marry her. Now look at this mess. Noah, it's time to wake up. I didn't say anything. My father took my silence as agreement and continued, come back to Los Angeles in a few days. I'll help you restore your identity and introduce you to everyone. I returned to Los Angeles and attended the gala my father hosted. The guests were all prominent figures from both LA and the East Coast. Representing the Miller family was Anna, with Ethan still by her side. Their entrance drew countless stares. Isn't the Miller girl married? Who's the young guy with her? Probably some boy toy she's keeping. She'd bring a boy toy to Mr. Crawford's gala? Does she think this is New York, where she can do whatever she wants? Anna paid no mind to the whispers, shamelessly introducing Ethan to everyone. Soon, the story spread. Anna Miller had a useless, pretty boy husband who was nothing more than a decoration at home, so it was only natural for her to seek entertainment with a college student. It was then that I walked into the ballroom. All eyes immediately turned to me. Since I had rarely appeared in public since I was a child, not many people knew I was the son of the Crawford family from Los Angeles. The few family friends who did know had been told to keep quiet and stood silently in the crowd, not approaching me. When Anna saw me, she frowned and walked over. Noah, are you ever going to stop? You followed me all the way to L.A. Ethan followed close behind, looking smug. Hey, man, weren't you trying to divorce my girl? What are you doing here? This isn't the kind of place you can just walk into. Know your place. Anna took Ethan's hand and patted it soothingly. If you're not going through with the divorce, then you need to learn to behave. Stop embarrassing yourself in public. This isn't the time or place for your drama. Go back to New York. In that moment, many of the confused onlookers finally understood. I was the useless trophy husband. The blatant stares and contemptuous looks made my heart sink. Just then, someone shouted, Mr. Crawford and Mr. Sterling are here. A flurry of activity followed as staff rushed to the entrance. Anna, disgusted, pushed me aside and, like everyone else, turned to welcome the business titan who held immense prestige on both coasts. I turned my head. A group of people appeared on the red carpet at the entrance. The two men in the center smiled and greeted people as they passed. Following closely behind them was Chloe, dressed to the nil. Her eyes found mine across the crowded room, as she gave me a sweet smile. Anna, eager to network, approached Chloe and extended her hand, only to be completely ignored. The words of greeting died in her throat. Chloe walked straight to my side, took my arm, and stood on her toes to whisper in my ear, Noah, after tonight, everything will go back to the way it should be. Just think of the past as a bad dream. Anna stared at me, her eyes filled with a ferocious disbelief. Noah, the person Chloe said she loves is you. Ethan lost his composure. He seemed to grasp something deeper and raised his voice. This is ridiculous. Didn't she say the person she loves is a composer? What kind of joke is this? A stay-at-home husband playing the lead in some romantic drama. Chloe turned to them, her expression turning cold. She raised an eyebrow, her tone leaving no room for argument. Excuse me, sir, but if I remember correctly, Mr. Crawford's gala is for industry leaders and their families. I wasn't aware that a secret lover now qualifies as family. Ethan, publicly humiliated by his idol, was speechless. He could only look to Anna for help. But Anna's gaze was fixed on me, a storm of emotions raging in her eyes. Noah, do you have any idea what you're doing? Do you realize you're still a married man? Are you trying to publicly cheat on me? Remember who you are. Can you handle the consequences of this reckless behavior? I laughed out loud. Anna, we're two sides of the same coin. Let's not point fingers. But you've got one thing wrong. For me, the only consequence of us splitting up is pure joy. Anna was visibly furious. She had never been treated this way by me. Do you know that with a snap of my fingers, I could make it impossible for you to survive in New York? I cut her off, my patience wearing thin. Really? Are you sure the Miller family has that much power? What do you mean? And I'd always looked down on me. Even in the year she claimed to love me the most, she saw me as nothing more than a conquest. I realized it too late. At that moment, my father stood beside me. He cleared his throat and, to the astonishment of everyone present, announced loudly, My son has never been interested in business or the public eye, so his identity has been kept mostly private. But I never imagined that my son, Noah Crawford, would be subjected to such humiliation. So today, in front of all of you, I am formally introducing him. Noah is my son and the sole heir to the Crawford fortune. The room erupted. I looked at the faces that had just been filled with mockery and disdain, now twisted into sickeningly sweet expressions of flattery, and I suddenly burst out laughing. Even Anna, standing beside me, was stunned into silence for a long moment. Noah, what else have you been lying to me about? I turned my gaze to Anna, confused by the source of her current rage. If we were talking about lies, perhaps the only one was at the very beginning when I tried to tell her about my background. She had proudly lifted her chin and pressed her fingers to my lips. Noah, I love you for you. It doesn't matter if your family is poor or rich. We'll be together forever. 3 years ago, I was a fool in love. I readily believed such nonsense, giving up a skyrocketing career in composing and a billion-dollar inheritance to chase what I thought was true love. I dropped out of college, not because I was poor, but because I had found my true passion and impulsively decided to focus on writing music. The truth is, I later went on to study at Berklee College of Music, a fact no one knew. It was there that I met my junior, Chloe. At our professor's suggestion, I wrote several pieces for her, which launched her career and made her one of the most sought-after performers. I had wanted to tell Anna everything, but the princess, spoiled her whole life, had always been wild and unpredictable. Her affection for me was a special exception, and as if to prove the purity of that affection, she forbade me from talking about my past. I foolishly thought that was love and held on to the hope of forever. My father had warned me that people are pragmatic and that I shouldn't be so quick to judge, but I stubbornly went my own way and ended up losing everything. When we left the ballroom, a crowd of reporters swarmed us. They shoved microphones and cameras in our faces. "Ms. Miller, Mr. Crawford, is it true that your marriage has been a sham all along, that there were no real feelings involved, which is why you both have lovers on the side?" I looked directly at the cameras, my voice steady. "You're reporters. You can do your own investigation. Ms. Miller's relationship with that college student began 6 months ago. As for Chloe and me, although we knew each other before, we hadn't seen each other since graduation until we reconnected a month ago. Every word I said was a public declaration of one fact. Anna had been the first to betray our marriage, leading us down this path of inevitable ruin. In the weeks that followed, Anna and I were locked in a high-profile battle. The Miller family, now aware of the truth, refused to allow the divorce and sent several people to try and mediate. Anna seemed more concerned about my relationship with Chloe. She came to my place several times to cause a scene, acting as if she were the one who had been betrayed and wronged, tearing up the divorce agreement I had prepared in a flood of tears. I watched her histrionics with a calm heart, feeling nothing. To my surprise, Ethan showed up at my door furious. "Noah, you've been looking down on me from your high horse this whole time, watching me make a fool of myself from the shadows. You enjoyed that, didn't you?" I looked at the young man in front of me, speechless. "I made a fool of you? Did I ask you to be a homewrecker? Did I tell you to take shortcuts instead of working hard? Get a grip, man. What does it even mean to be a man? Besides those muscles you love to show off, what else do you have?" My taunts left Ethan red-faced. Now Anna is desperately trying to get back with you. She won't even answer my calls. "This is all your fault, Noah. You're already with Chloe, so why won't you let Anna go?" I cut him off. "Anna won't let go because she can't admit she failed. And you got dumped because once the passion faded, you had no value left. You're just an obstacle. So wake up." With that, I had security escort him out. Then I call my corporate legal team. "Bring your A game. I don't care what it takes. Get me divorced from Anna as soon as possible." For a while after that, Anna was relentless. She contacted me daily, either reminiscing about her happy past or trying to threaten and bribe me. Chloe, nestled in my arms, took the phone from my hand. "Anna, have some self-respect." Anna shrieked in anger. "Chloe, who are you to talk? I thought you were my friend, and you stabbed me in the back. As long as I don't agree to this divorce, you two can never be together openly." I was growing tired of this drawn-out fight. "Anna, the Miller family business is large, but it's not without its flaws. And financially, going against the Crawford family will do you no good. For the sake of what we once had, let's just end this amicably." But Anna wouldn't listen. She took things even further, hiring reporters to smear my relationship with Chloe and planting fake stories online to try and ruin Chloe's career. I looked at the file my lawyer handed me and rubbed my temples. Release everything. Soon, the internet was flooded with stories about Anna's cheating. It turned out that besides Ethan, she had been involved with several other young college students throughout our 3-year marriage. People then remembered the news stories of her flaunting Ethan at various events. At the time, everyone was focused on mocking me for being a worthless, kept man, but they had overlooked the fact that loyalty should be the foundation of a marriage, regardless of wealth or poverty. Public opinion shifted dramatically. Some activists even went to NYU to formally report Ethan for moral misconduct. The university, unable to withstand the pressure, issued a public statement and expelled him. With nowhere else to go, Ethan found Anna, knelt on the ground, and clung to her skirt, crying that she was all he had left. Anna, fed up, kicked him away. The two of them started fighting in broad daylight. Anna, being a woman, was no match for the tall and strong Ethan. Soon, her shirt was torn, her hair was pulled out, and she was running for her life. It wasn't until her assistant arrived that the situation was brought under control. They had Ethan arrested and, using the Miller family's connections, made sure he had a criminal record, completely ruining his future. But it didn't end there. Onlookers had filmed the entire incident on their phones and posted it online. The public outrage reached its peak. The Miller Group's stock plummeted for days. Finally, they couldn't take it anymore. Mr. Miller sent a representative to negotiate the divorce with me. At the negotiation, I saw a haggard Anna. She had lost a lot of weight and looked completely drained. "Noah, you can't do this to me." She still refused to agree to the divorce, crying and screaming without any regard for her image. It seemed she had only now realized her love for me. But I had long seen through her twisted and selfish possessiveness, born not of love, but of a bruised ego. So I play my trump card. All Miller Group investment projects in the Los Angeles area will be halted, effective immediately. The notice was placed on the table. Mr. Miller's eyes were bloodshot, his face contorted with rage. He slapped the still screaming Anna across the face. "Have you caused enough trouble?" Anna was stunned into silence. Finally, under the forceful restraint of her family, she signed the divorce papers. During the mandatory cooling-off period, I didn't see Anna again. No matter how many tearful voicemails or messages she sent begging for forgiveness, I didn't reply, nor did I block her. I just let them sit on my phone. During this time, besides managing the Crawford family's business, I spent almost all my time composing new music. Chloe was always by my side, her quiet companionship bringing me peace. The day my new album was released, Anna and I received our divorce certificate. Standing outside the courthouse, she looked at me with tears in her eyes, her gaze filled with what looked like genuine affection. "Noah, I've only just realized that I truly love you. I was immature before and didn't cherish what we had. But I understand now. Can you let me try to win you back?" I felt nothing but disgust. I cut her off without mercy. "Don't ever show your face in front of me again, Anna. My marriage to you was the biggest mistake of my life. I regret every moment of it." With that, I turned and walked away, leaving the woman behind me sobbing uncontrollably. My instrumental album was an instant hit upon its release. Plans for Chloe's new concert tour were quickly put into motion. But this time, we would be on stage together. 2 years later, at the end of our final tour date, I proposed to Chloe on stage. Under the spotlight, with thousands of people watching, she smiled radiantly. "Noah, my answer is the same as it's always been. You made the right choice with me. I will never betray you.